I'm a bit patchy here, but all good. Thanks for asking, Reese. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better now. I think I need another day or two, and I'll be 100%. But all good. Hope everybody's been keeping well, guys. Some of the B2B deals that are being closed, don't get me wrong, they're not all super high B2B deals. Some are only, £1,000, but we had a 10K today profit, or was it 13K? No, 10K and a 13K. Just fucking incredible. I lose track completely. I've been speaking to our e-commerce expert, James, today. James we've been going back and forth through iMessage, and he's been telling me some of the members' results through B2C as well. So B2C is smashing it. Guys, let's fucking go, man. That's all I can say. You guys are doing what needs to be done. There's a lot of people there that are building their first business and getting the foundations right first time. Anna, today I've spoken to Anna, our business consultant and branding expert, and some of the brands that she's building for members, just fucking insane. If you used to go somewhere else and get that type of brand created, you're looking at thousands and thousands and thousands. But look, I could go on and on. What a fucking week, man. And do you know what? In the last couple of hours, since around 6 p.m., I've had members saying, Ryan, this is my Thursday night in. Look, this is the text message I received from my mates, and it's the same shit we always talk about. Oh, it's bank holiday. Let's go partying. We get an extra night partying rather than I get an extra day or night to build my fucking empire, and that's because most people wake up hanging in the morning. They're going to wake up, they put a load of work in last night, and they're ready to put some more work in now. Building empires, man. Like, this is why I love the community. We shout out all that average shit, and we're here focusing on fucking leveling up. It's been crazy, Reese. Fucking awesome day, awesome week. Let's go, guys. We're giving away £1,000 and a VIP membership in this one. 2 lucky winners. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to talk about how we started. Now, we usually do like 2 or 3 of these ones every year, because a lot of people often ask me, Ryan, how did you get started? And Reese, how did Reese get started? So in this webinar, I'll give you a real insight of how normal we actually are, and how it should, if anything, highlight that if I can do it, or Reese can do it, or Tammy can do it, I can do it too. You should be watching this thinking, well, fuck me. I can do it if these guys have gone and done it, But there's sacrifices you need to make. You need to want to do this. Consistency is key. There's many things that kind of come off the back end of the last webinar, which is mindset that we spoke about. But we're going to break down exactly, how we got started, because what a lot of people don't know is I was one of those people, Reese, where, you look at something online, you think scam. Like, you just judge it by its cover straight away. Scam. Guy's got a Lambo, scam. This guy, is doing a mentoring program. Oh, he's making all his money from mentoring. Doesn't do anything else. Just very like short-sighted kind of mindset. And that's like saying Grant Cardone makes all his money through mentoring. This guy's a real estate billionaire. But that's how I used to look at things, because I was one of those. I think it was to make myself feel better. If I'm going to be honest, I think it was like me telling myself, it's a scam, made myself feel better. Like, it's okay where I am. Obviously, I know a lot different now. I know, how much of that was a scam, that I was doing, trading my time for money, making the person at the top rich. Like I actually put in my story today, think about that. The rich people want the people at the bottom to make their money. That. But you don't understand that when you're at the bottom. You're just like, oh, no, everybody does this. No, they fucking don't. You have that 1% at the top there. That anyone can be in that 1%, by the way. Anyone can be in that top 1%. But you need to do what you need to do to get to. You need to take, a certain journey to get to the 1%. And the difference between the 1% and everybody else that works for the person that's in the 1% is the 1% takes the risks. They understand the process. They put the work in. They don't want to put the work into somebody like. They're not just settling for a 9 to 5 and putting the work in to help somebody else accomplish their goals. They're putting the work in around their 9 to 5 so they can accomplish their own fucking goals. And they get themselves to a point where now everybody else is working for them, helping him achieve his goal. They're not achieving their goals. They're just putting a roof over their head and feeding their family. And this guy's hitting his goals. This guy wants a yacht by the end of the year. Yeah, these workers will work harder. Be strict on them. Don't overpay them. Like, fucking make them work for their money. And they work and work and work. This guy goes and buys a yacht. This guy goes and buys a new house. And you're there struggling month by month, moaning about energy bills, moaning about food prices going up. This guy's laughing. This guy's at the top. He's in the 1%. So you have to look at it as like different levels. You know, what level do you want to be on? What level are you on currently? What level do you want to be on? Do you want to be the guy at the top, or do you want to be the guy at the bottom? And that is how it works. So very early on, I knew that I did not want to be down here for the rest of my life. I'm a chef. I can climb the ladder. Reese was a chef, and Tammy worked in admin, and we could just be like, do you know what, Reese? Everybody does this, but Reese had the hunger in him. We're not going to bore you with our story, before we started online, because it's about how we got started. But Reese, you tell him, you did a bit of eBay. You was a bit of a hustler before even. You always had it in you, didn't you, Reese, to kind of like make more money?
Yeah. So like, I don't know, just sort of living paycheck to paycheck, like never sort of appealed to me. Like when you like, I don't know, earning like £1,000 a month as an example, or £1,500 a month, like, you can earn more, like if you buy and sell stuff. I've always been in the mindset of, not always, but from a very early age of, making as much money as possible. I came across an opportunity where I was buying stuff from China, selling it on eBay. My profit margins were about 300 to 400% with what I was selling. So, straight away, like from the age of like 16, 17, I knew that, you can make money online if you do it correctly. After the eBay side of things, that sort of died down for me. And I moved on to some other bits online. Once again, that then died down for me. And this is going into like my 20s. Always keeping an eye out, how can you make more money and stuff like that. And obviously seeing, very similar to what you said a few minutes ago, like when you see people online, like, making money online with their Lamborghini behind them, or, all these yachts and stuff like that, you do assume that what they're doing is a scam. You do think, oh yeah, like, you can't make that much, that's impossible and stuff like that.
It's too good to be true. You look at that and think there's no way you can accomplish that.
Yeah.
Like that must be rented, that must be, you just think that.
And you always put yourself in a position like, I'll never have that. Like that's too far. Do you know what I mean? As a goal. But like the reality is, like, nothing's too far. That on the flip side, the 1% that are making all the money in the world, they're employing the rest of the people, as an example. So like in life, you need to essentially choose where you want to be. Like everyone's got that opportunity, and in this day and age, like if you go back 8-10 years ago, as an example, how many people did you know was making money online? Me, zero. And it'll be the same for you. But like, in the last few years alone, more and more people, which is now being called the modern wealth, are moving online. They're making more money and stuff like that because the opportunities are now here. And there's so many opportunities for you to tap into. But at the same time, you need to be extremely careful of the scams out there. People that used to do Forex, copy my trades, jump in a WhatsApp group, load of bullshit. NFTs, where the fuck are they gone? Bitcoin and crypto, it's all over. Like, you need to go with sustainable and consistent business models. E-commerce, for the last 20, 30 years, ever since the internet's been around, like, it's just growing and growing and growing. There's never, ever been a dip in e-commerce. When a global pandemic hits, e-commerce skyrockets. When there's wars going on, e-commerce rockets. Like, it's crazy.
I think though, Reese, what stopped us, like you got to remember, like how we got started. Like you think, like I sat on the fence for years. I knew, 5 years prior to us even taking action, that e-commerce existed. I knew e-commerce was growing, but I think what stopped us was the scams you were hearing. This person was being scammed. You watch the news, be careful of internet scams, and we're like, we're consuming all this shit. So it's making us think that, wow, if we part of our cash, the chances are we're going to get scammed. Which is the case in today's day and age, unfortunately. There's so much shit online. But that's what stopped us. And cut a long story short, basically how we got started was, before I touch on that, actually, just remember that we always had that fire in us. I always had that fire. Reese always had that fire. I used to stand there and look at everybody being happy, being average, living month to month. Like, I always wanted more from life, but I just didn't know where to start. Where do I start? Who do I join? And we knew somebody, and I've told the story a million times. You've probably heard me say it already before, but we knew somebody who lived around 20 minutes away, and he was always driving nice cars, not Lambos, but like nice Beamers, Mercs, blah, blah, blah. And he was doing really well for himself, 30, 40, 50 grand a month. And I used to think, what the fuck does this guy do? Anyway, me and Reese knew somebody that knew him and said, look, can you find out what he does? Like, we're interested. We didn't even know it was e-commerce. We didn't know it was an online business. And he come back and to his friend, and he said, look, send Ryan and Reese this link, tell them to check it out. This is kind of what I do. If they're interested in getting started. So I had a lot of confidence. You could call me lucky because I actually agree to a certain extent, only to a certain extent, and that we were a little bit lucky because we met someone or knew of someone that lived local to us and was actually making money online. So it made us feel straight away, well, this must be real. Like this, because if it's not, we know where he lives. Not that we're going to do anything, but we know where he lives, you know. So we went home, me and Reese checked it out, and we both looked at it and thought, this seems genuine. You know, these guys, it was a mentoring program that taught e-commerce, and it seemed genuine. And, you know, me and Reese was like, we ain't got money to lose. You know, me and Reese were broke as fuck, if I'm straight to the point. We ain't got money to lose. This has to work. Do we do it? And Reese was like, but how would it be fake if we don't? Like, because so everything was like, do you know what? Let's just go for it, man. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? We're going to lose some money. We're going to lose money. Like, we'll have to work overtime, make that money back. And we've learned our lesson, you know? And just to put a little fact out there, me and Reese have never been scammed online. And I think we're very lucky because most people that I speak to have been scammed online by fucking scumbags renting cars and saying, join me. But anyway, so we got started. We took a loan out. So we got a loan out, which was thousands and thousands to go to a specific membership. And that is where our e-commerce journey started. Now, don't get me wrong, it weren't all, you know, happy days and we're making lots of money online. It didn't work like that for us, okay? Now, when we first started with the mentoring program, we thought it was gold. We were like, wow, this is incredible. Like, wow, these mentors are insane, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to backstab the mentors because without them, I would have never got started online, you know, so I do respect them. However, when we look back at the system now, it is nowhere near as good as it should have been. There's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors. There's a lot of should I say employees that are reading off scripts. You know, you go off the script, they ain't got a fucking clue what to say, you know. So yeah, it helped us get started. And what we did when we began was set up a routine. So the biggest concern of mine and Reese's was time. Okay, we got a loan. We'll have to pay that loan off slowly every month. Reese put 100 quid and I put 100 quid in, blah, blah, blah. But it was the time because the chefing work that me and Reese were doing was very long. It's 12 hours a day, 13 hours a day, very time consuming, and mentally you're absolutely tired. If any of you guys are chefs watching this, you'll know that mentally we were just fucked every night. And that's 5 days, maybe 6 days a week sometimes. But me and Reese vouched. Me and Reese said, look, man, you know, we're watching this guy here. He's showing members that are living a financial free life. He's showing what's possible from creating an online business. He's talking about the freedom aspect, which I absolutely loved. It wasn't just about the money to me. It was about the freedom to be able to spend more time with my two little girls. So we both vouched and said to each other, right, Reese, you put an hour in a day, I'll put an hour in a day. No excuses. That's 2 hours. Okay. If I was doing this alone, I would have made 2 hours myself. But wherever I had Reese, I was like, right, Reese 1 hour, me 1 hour. And obviously, me and Reese lived in the same house. We both lived at my mum's house. Reese was in his small bedroom. I was in my small bedroom, literally across the corridor from each other. You know, bearing in mind at this point in time, you know, I'm like 25, 26 years old. I'm still living at my mum's. You know, my girls live with their mum, and yeah, my life was all over the place. And you know, this isn't long ago. You know, this is when I was like 25, 26. So we both get home from work, you know, we're speaking the kitchen downstairs. We'll go upstairs. Reese goes in his room. I go in my room, door shut. And we're grinding. Reese is on his laptop or computer. I was on my laptop. No, you actually had the Alienware, didn't you, at the time? Reese, Alienware laptop. And Reese is putting in the work. And then like 20 minutes later, I hear her on my door. Reese is like, you right, have I come in? Or like, yeah, Reese, come in. Reese is like, look what I found, you know. And it was just that constant like drive from Reese and drive from me, where most people I come across that do those types of hours in a job, they bullshit themselves all day long. I don't have time. They don't even think about it. They don't even stop and make time. They just say, I haven't got time. I'm too busy. I'm doing 12 hours a day. I've got kids. I've got this. I've got that. And so it's just like, what's the fucking priority here? Like changing your life, setting your kids up for a better future, you know, spending more time with your kids. Is that not a priority? You know, like me and Reese had our priorities straight from the beginning. We're like, fuck average. I don't want to be like, because what we started looking at was where we're at in life and where we're heading in life if we don't do nothing. If we don't take action, if we don't invest into ourselves, where are we going? Where are we going to be in 5 years? That's the question that me and Reese asked each other. And we quickly realized that, fuck, we're going to be in the same place. We're still going to be living month to month. All the spare money was saving up. The saved money, which was like 500 quid, like we said in the last webinar. Something goes wrong with your car. That's all your savings gone straight away. Do I want to be that person that lives to work? Do you know what I mean? Or do I want to let my business work for me like these other guys are doing online? Now, a month or two in, I started becoming skeptical again. I was like, because it's my mindset. You know, our friends started laughing at us. The chefs we were working with were laughing at us. My mum and dad said it was bullshit and we're being scammed. Nobody believed in us. It was just me, Reese, and then obviously and Tammy come into it as well. So I started doubting myself and I started saying, is this a scam? You know, are all these people right? Am I a fucking idiot that's fell for this trap, you know? So then me and Reese jumped on a Zoom meeting with two Australian brothers. It wasn't Zoom, it was Skype. I don't think Zoom existed then. And then on that Skype meeting, they could see I was skeptical. Reese is very strong-minded, like a lot more strong-minded than me. And Reese was the one that's literally got us to where we are today in a certain way because of his mindset. But they could see Reese was confident, but they could see I was skeptical. Because with me, I had two little girls, so I had a bit more added pressure, I would say, Reese. Maybe that's why I was more like that. And they shared their screen, they logged into their bank account, and they showed us their earnings for the month of November. These were two Australian brothers, and they'd done 181,000 Australian dollars in sales in 1 month. That's not fake. They're showing me on a fucking computer. So I was like, whoa, that'd take me 5 years to make that shit. You made that in a month. So I was all in. After that Zoom, I said, Reese, let's fucking go, man. Like, that's where I want to be. Like, I don't care how long this takes me. Because I was getting skeptical again. I was thinking about quitting, but then I'm like thousands and thousands in debt now. Like, but that right there just, I had that fire in me, but that just ignited that fire. And the fire was fucking bigger than ever, man. Smoke coming out my ears. So I was like, fucking let's go. And yeah, that's why I adopted the let's go slogan as well. So then we cracked on from there, Reese. After that Zoom, we then built a store. It didn't work, and we were going through the mentoring, and we found like the system in the end didn't really have any clear guidance. There wasn't really any personal support that we needed. We needed support. There wasn't no one you could contact. You could book a call, but you get one phone call a month, and that's from someone reading off a script, you know. But if you compare that to most systems out there at the moment, you don't even get fucking one phone call a month. You know, you get like VAs from different countries responding to you, once again reading off scripts. You know, if you're lucky, some systems don't offer any support. So we found that difficult. So a lot of the work we did was off our own back. I used to book 1 week holidays, and I used to spend, I'd say, at least 3, 4, 5 of those days grinding on my computer all day. So I was still only seeing my little girls for 2 days. And I remember somebody made a nasty comment about me not seeing my girls more than I could. You know, oh, he's too busy on his online scam and all this shit when he could be spending time with his girls. And that really hit me because I'm like, I'm doing this for my little girls. I'm doing this so I can spend even more time. I can spend every fucking day with them once this is working. But nobody could see my vision because everybody was small-minded. Everybody thought 9 to 5 is the only way to go. Nobody is looking at the technology that's around them. No one's adapting to what's happening in the world right now. They're all living in the fucking traditional world still. I was adapting. I was looking at the technology. I was looking at the internet. I was looking at the opportunities. I was looking at the people that are doing it. So I was adapting. And that's what really hurt me when somebody has said that. Because once again, you know, I was a bit insecure. So I'm questioning myself. I'm saying, am I a bad dad? Am I a shit dad for doing this? Like, fucking, I've just had a week off work. I'm not going to have another week for a few months now. You know, I only saw them 2 days out of that week when maybe I could have had them for 5 days. And I started feeling really shit myself. But then, you know, after speaking to Reese, once again, Reese was fucking incredible in moments like this. And Reese said, Ryan, fuck what they think. They're happy being average. They're fucking grinding for somebody else's dream. Like, we're building a fucking empire. You know this works, right? And Ryan, when it works, look how much time you can spend with your little girls. Me and you will go out and take the little girls out. We'll take them away for a week. You know, and Reese really brought me back up again with conversations like that. And I thought, do you know what? So fucking true. Why am I listening to these people? So, when you look at my journey now, you know, it weren't just I started online, made a store, and we fucking become financially free. Like there's all these little bits and bobs you have to think about your journey. People are going to talk shit. Right now, it don't bother me at all. It's like, yeah, stay average. I don't give a fuck what your opinion is. But back then, I did give a fuck because I was still working a job. You know, I was still not seeing my little girls. I was, you know, fucking putting money on credit cards, and you know, like it did bother me. You know, which you could probably understand, but now I look back and I think, why did it bother me? Why? I'm leveling up. Why the fuck do I care? E-commerce works. It's a fact, you know. But yeah, so yeah, a lot of ups and downs, weren't there, Reece, with the whole e-commerce. First store didn't work as well.
There was a lot, especially like all the work you put in, and it's like, you know, you think you've nailed it. You think this is it. This is going to work. Nothing.
Oh, we had no
comes back.
support.
Like,
We had no support, Reece.
yeah, there's no support whatsoever with what we're doing. But like, you know, the amount of research and time we put in, and you know, you'd think it's going to work and it doesn't. Hit a brick wall, back to the drawing board. Let's try something else. Let's push that. Another brick wall. Let's go back to the drawing board. And you've got like essentially, there's no, apart from ourselves, there was like no support there trying to, you know, guide you or tell you to do this or anything like that. Like with our community, you drop us a DM, you jump on a Zoom, our experts. We had none of this. It's literally like, if you want this to work, you figure it out. That's literally the case. And we eventually got there. We got there eventually. A lot of fucking hard work, but I'll tell you that, and a lot of hours put in. And essentially, it's cracking the codes. Like there's so much stuff out there, and this is why we always advise, like, get a mentor if you're going to do e-commerce, if you're going to do drop shipping, because people try and watch YouTube videos, people go into forums, people look on websites and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's great. You're probably going to learn a few bits and bobs, but it's never going to fucking work. I do not know one person, to be fair, apart from ourselves, that have put in that volume of time and made it successful. People give up. People try the first off, it fails. All right, we'll give it another shot. They try a second store. Oh, this doesn't work.
That's because they don't have mentors, because they don't know what works there. Because the problem is, Reece, how many members like do you come across and people that go, I've got a great idea. And then we say to the member, okay, an idea is an idea. Where's the product research here? Oh, I haven't done any. This is why people fail in e-commerce. Come on, let's do it properly. And having a mentor will guide you like that. And that's you're spot on, Reece, with people that watch fucking YouTube, clickbait. And I was saying this to someone yesterday. YouTube, Reece, you watch one video with clickbait, how to make 6 figures from dropshipping. You watch the whole video, Reece, and then it's like, oh, and if you want to find out how to do that, tune into my second part video. You now tune into the second part. But what they're doing is enticing you into their channel, into their story, and then the third one, there'll be a sales funnel. So you get to the third video, and it's like, oh, by the way, check out this new, you know, system that I've just created. It's a sales funnel. So one is clickbait to get the views because they get paid from YouTube, and then it's a sales funnel. Like, and then you get no support because they're too busy shooting videos for YouTube. It's like, come on, guys. Like, you know, and then people give up and go, oh, dropshipping don't work. And then they put something on Google, dropshipping doesn't work in 2023. So, like, no, it doesn't work for you because you don't know what you're fucking doing. You're trying to, you know, so like it was very hard for me, Reece, but obviously bringing Tammy into this as well. You have to remember Tammy was there, and Tammy was incredible from the beginning, very positive, just like Reece, very driven, very hungry. Tammy's always wanted to travel the world. You know, Tammy's always wanted to have a kid and be able to travel the world, and everything she had in her head, we're doing. You know, we've been doing it for years now, and it just goes to show again, like if you have a vision and you go, right, how do I make that vision become a reality? What are the steps that is going to get me from A to B? When I say steps with an S, not a step, what step is going to get me there? Because a lot of people think, oh, I just join a course and I'm buying success. Doesn't work that. What steps is going to get me there? And then you focus, you build a routine around those steps, and you say to yourself, like me and Reece did, 1 hour in the evenings when we get home from work. Simple, it's not hard. And you stick to it. Your friends ask you to go out. No, I can't. I'm busy. You know, you can have a night off. You can go out one night if you really want to go out. I'm not saying you can't. You can, but prioritize your business, not prioritize, you know, things that aren't going to help you level up in life. And that was our mindset from the beginning. That's, you know, since we got started, like our mindset has always been like, we are going to do what needs to be done to get to where we need to be. And like we said, I'm not sure it was the last webinar, you said it, Reece, or the webinar before, where we had friends that used to just bullshit. We had like 3 people join the system we were part of. you know. And one of them I used to pick up every day and take to work because he didn't drive. And every day I pick him up some bullshit story about how he's closing, you know, a B2B deal. And then another day I'd be another, oh, you know, I've just built, you know, this and this website's making me money. And I was like, yeah, cool. You know, just to do better than us, you know, because we weren't making money at the time. But we've always been that type of person that's transparent. So like when people used to ask at work, Ryan, and I know they're going to take the piss, and they go, Ryan, how much have you made online so far? Is it going well? And you know they're going to take the piss out. And I say, we haven't made any money, but it's a process, you know, because I love being, I'm just a transparent person. And if you don't like it, I don't care. You know, it is what it is. And people used to take the piss out of us. And he obviously knew we weren't making money because we were still learning, but he'd be making money. And then another guy would come along, and just because he wanted to be part of something, he then purchased a membership with the system we were with. And you know, just used to talk shit. I've got this great idea. Oh, I'm going to do this. One day I'm going to take my family over to the Maldives. We're going to do this. I'm going to look at an apartment in New York so we can, you know, go to New York whenever we want. And I'm like, how fucking unrealistic are these guys? Like, even then, I weren't even business minded back then. I'd only just started myself. And even there, I could see how fucking unrealistic are these people. Anyway, fast forward now, they've disappeared. They're back in 9-to-5s and working out for the rest of their life. And that is the difference, you know, between us, like being realistic, being transparent, not being demoralized because it's taking time. Like, I know e-commerce works and I know it makes money. And we know a guy who lives 20 minutes down the road who's doing 30, 40, 50K a month, living a life on his terms. If he can do it, we can fucking do it. And that's the mindset that me, Reese, and Tammy had. If he can do it, we can do it. We just need to put the fucking work in. So, you know, going through our journey, Reese was now having to do research outside the system. Tammy was doing research. Like, there used to be times where Tammy would be off and I'll be working. Tammy would be at home. I remember my phone going off. I've done this today. I've done that today. I could have done this by myself. Reese could have done this by himself. Tammy could have done this by herself. It's only because we were working together, we did it together. Like, if I had to start again, let's say Reese said to me tomorrow, Ryan, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm doing this. I'd be like, okay, cool. You're like, fucking, I know you're going to succeed because of your work ethic. Vice versa, I know I'm going to succeed. You know, even if it's a new skill that I had to learn, I know I had that in me. It's the fear of working a 9-to-5 for the rest of your life that should fucking drive you. You know, like, you look at, it was little things that I used to hear on the news about pensions going to like 65 or whatever it is. And, you know, everybody at our work was talking about the news and, oh man, we're going to have to work till we're like 65 now and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why the fuck are you talking about that? You're 20 what years old? Like, it shows their mindset, man. And I'm like, I won't be fucking working when I'm 40. You know, like, what the fuck are you guys on? That's how I used to think. I used to think I'm going to find an opportunity way before that. You know, but a lot of these people, you know, it's what you consume, isn't it? And because at this moment in time, I was consuming online material, I was consuming e-commerce, I was consuming members that were making shitloads of money, I was consuming mentors, I was consuming, you know, the people I'm networking with outside the system. Like, I know there's so much more than fucking just paying a mortgage and living a fucking mediocre life, you know. So throughout my journey, I started to grow as a person. I started to understand life so much better than I did before I started online, because I didn't know about your circle around you. I didn't know that you could genuinely make money online. I didn't know that, you know, I don't have to work a 9-to-5 until I need to retire. Like, I didn't know all of that stuff. So as I'm working online, and as you work online, you'll find you grow as a person as well. You find that you mature. You find that, you know, you start figuring out, you start realizing you have responsibilities. You have people leaning on you. You have people that you can help and change lives. You know, and you start really finding your purpose in life and your passion, because let's face it, man, most people don't have a passion or don't have a purpose in their everyday life. You know, like, a lot of people are passionate about their job, but that only lasts for 2-3 years in a lot of cases. Some people love it and they do it for the rest of their life, which is great. But a lot of people after 2-3 years fucking are bored as fuck, you know, I want to move on to the next thing. That's why, you know, when you do business, you can go with something that you're passionate about. And that's what me and Reese loved about e-commerce, is we could actually sell something that we're passionate about. So not only are we making shitload of money online, we actually enjoy what we do. Like, that's a fucking win-win. That's not work, because, you know, one wise man said once to me and Reese, if you find something that you're passionate about, you will never work another day in your life. Literally. And it was so fucking true, and that quote stuck with me. But we went a bit wrong with that as well. So first couple of businesses, we went with things that probably would have never made money. But we're like, oh, we enjoy this. Let's go and do this. No experience, no fucking help, from the business consultant. He's just like, oh yeah, mate, it sounds really, really good. Yeah, I think you'll do really well from that. So me and Reece obviously just went ahead and done it. Didn't work. Did another one. Didn't work. But we started finding our passion in terms of working with people. Like I found passion within networking, meeting people. I found passion within just creating online businesses and being able to say, I have an online business, passion in helping others. So a little bit later on in our journey, when we started making, good money online, people used to say, wow, what do you do? And just jumping on phone calls with them and saying, look, mate, this is what I do. Get yourself a mentor. We don't mentor, but get yourself a mentor. There's tons out there. I recommend this guy. I used to recommend a certain person. And I used to love that. I used to come off and I used to say to Tammy, fucking hell, I could have just helped someone change their life there. And I started really finding my passion. But yeah, Reece, when we started making money online, it was about 12, 13 months into our journey. We were in the kitchen one day and was it your phone? It wasn't my phone. It was your phone. It was like a cha-ching. And I was like, fuck was that? Never heard of cha-ching before. And we made the sale and I was like, are you fucking joking? We just made our first sale. And everything just becomes so much more real to me then. Don't get me wrong, like 3 months before that, 2 months, 3 months, we received emails, people signed up to our newsletters, and I remember looking at those emails like, wow, people are interested in our shop. They've done their emails. And Reece was like ticking out Reece created a spreadsheet and we had like 8 emails on there, and I'm like, fucking let's go. But then when we made that first sale, everything changed, didn't it, Reece? It just becomes so much more real, man.
Yeah, 100%. I think making the first sale online, it shows you that what you're doing works, and it's just a case of if I can make 1 sale a day, I can make 5, I can make 5, I can make 10. But like we set ourselves like very realistic goals as well, which helped us. Like the first goal was to make the first sale. That was the first goal. After that, our next goal was to make 5 sales a week. Then we progressed onto 5 sales a day. That was the sort of, that would have been the hardest goal, I think, for us to reach 5 sales a day. Because, making 1 sale in, I don't know how long that was, 13 plus months, now looking at, making 5 of them every single day onwards, that was like, whoa. Like if we can do that though, like fuck me, like that's an achievement or what.
Your camera's off, Reece. Your camera's not there.
What's that?
Your camera's off. It's not showing my end.
It's probably just your signal. But yeah, so like once we hit that goal of 5 sales a day, you then start growing. Let's aim for 10 sales a day, 50 sales a week and stuff like that, and you proceed on there. A lot of people who were sort of very early on when we were, their sort of goals were, I want to make $5,000 a month, or I want to make $10,000 a month. And I've set myself a 6-month plan to do this. Like, you got to be realistic. What happens when you fail that? And it's inevitable, making $10,000 a month in the first 6 months, back then that was sort of like, yeah, like good luck. Do you know what I mean? But, if you stick to things and you set yourself realistic goals, you can achieve it. We set ourselves goals in the way, or when we were first getting started, where we want to be this time next month, action plans of what needs to be done every single week, every single month. And sort of the main goal is we never really put a time scale on them. It was just, make our first sale. Whenever that happens, we move on to the next goal, which is then make a sale every single day, like I said, and so forth. And I think that allowed us to, take our time and, when we hit obstacles, not to get disheartened or wanting to throw the towel in and stuff. And believe me, we're very close at throwing that towel in, because
I think what stops us though, Reece, is like we would start a business and then stop the business, start a new business, stop the business, because we had no mentoring to say, mate, stick with that fucking business.
100%.
That's what took us so fucking long. I think we've always said, Reece, what have we always said? If we had mentors that actually supported us with the work that we were putting in, we would have done that in 6 months easily.
Yeah, 100%.
From no experience to 5 figures a month in 6 months, we would have done that 100%. But we just didn't have that guidance. Do you remember that phone call we had with the business consultant, Reece? We waited a whole fucking month for a phone call. And you said to him, mate, can you look at this website? Me and Reece already knew, with not much experience, that the website needed work. Like, we knew this, okay? So we jumped on the phone call. We said, look, we just sent you a link. Can you check it out? Reece actually did the phone call. I was listening. And he checked the link. What did he say, Reece? Oh, mate, looks really good. Carry on doing what you're doing. And this time next year, you're going to make a load of money. That's all he said to us. And I'm like,
yeah.
And then we come off the phone call. Reese was quite excited, to be fair to you, Reese. She was like, oh, man, that's good. I said, Reese, the store needs fucking work, man. Like, what's it like? He's not giving us advice. Like, even I knew it. I weren't an expert. I'm new to business. So, yeah, with the right support, we would have got there a lot quicker, 100%. But once again, I'm not stabbing these guys in the back or anything like that. I'm not like that as a person. I think you're a real scumbag if you're there stabbing anyone in the back, especially someone that's, helped you get on the ladder, shall we put. So I'm not going to stab him in the back. I just think it could have been a lot better. And I kind of see a lot of things now because we've been in business for a long time. So yeah, we started obviously making good money online. Once we got to 5 figures, we then, best fucking time of my life this was, walking in and handing in my notice. And you know what? The majority of the people when we first started said it was a scam, laughed at us, took the piss out of us, were actually in that day that we handed in our notice. So we handed our notice. They weren't all standing there when we handed our notice. But then I'd walk upstairs where a lot of the stock was held. And so I was like, morning, you right, man? I'm like, yeah, just handing in my notice. And they're like, what? What? You've been in 9 years. What do you mean handing in your notice? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just leaving. And they're like, to do what? And I'm like, online business. They're like, and you can see the jealousy in their fucking face. It was eating them alive because these people don't want to see people succeed. They want to keep you down there with them because it makes them feel better for not doing anything, you know? So that was one of the best days of my life, man. And then people were taking the piss, making jokes, saying, oh, they'll be back in 6 months. Don't worry about that and all that stuff. And so, yeah, that's kind of how we got started, guys. I think without knowing that person who lived close to us, we would have never got started. I'd still be a chef now. Change wouldn't exist. Our e-com businesses wouldn't exist. Reese wouldn't have done it. I don't think, Reese. I don't think you would have ever done it either. But could be wrong. You might have done it, but I don't think I know I would have never done it because of the amount of scams online. They were like, at the time when we started online, it was like full of Forex, like, and people still fall for this Forex shit. And I'm just like, fucking hell, man. It's like 10 years. That type of shit put me off, you know, because you hear a lot about scams and be aware of scams. And my mum's telling me, and you got things on the news, and yeah, so I don't think I would have ever got started, but I kind of had that little bit of a kick, you know, because there was a guy 20 minutes down the road, and I thought, if I'm ever going to do it, like, I have to do it now. And then when I spoke to Reese, we both went home, checked out the link once we got it cost us, and we both kind of got started there. So yeah, it's crazy. I wish I got started earlier. I wish I started sooner. E-commerce has been around a lot longer than before I started, early 2000s. So yeah, like I wish I started earlier, but look, it's better late than never. And it's like when people say now, should I do e-commerce? Fucking absolutely. Everyone's sitting on the fence. Everyone's procrastinating. Everyone's calling everything a scam. Fucking get started. Do what they're not doing, you know? And it's easy for me to preach that because I do it every day now. And I know what I know, and I know how much money you can make from here compared to fucking somebody else, you know, or even like traditional business. I get so many traditional business owners up their own arse that go, oh yeah, but I'm making good. Yeah, but you don't have time freedom. Let's stop there. You don't have time freedom, you know. And I preach it, and I'm very strong with my message because I do it every day. I see members succeed, and I see people changing their lives within our system. Like, that's why I'm so strong with my message, because I'm just like, I have to remind myself sometimes, Ryan, but these people don't know. They're in a position that you was once in. They don't know, you know. I have to remind myself. It's like when people go, right, I'm really skeptical, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, have you not looked at my fucking highlights or anything? Like, I ain't got time for this shit. And then I have to step back and think, Ryan, calm down, man. Like, you do it every day. That's why you're so certain and you know your shit. But these people, they don't know, you know, they ain't done this before. Or there is scams out there. You've got to understand that, you know. So I get it because I've been there. And just being completely transparent with everyone. Like, I was that person on the sideline going, he's got a McLaren. That's a scam. Oh, fuck off with 10 grand a month. You can't make 10 grand a month. What a load of shit. You know, if you said 3 grand, maybe I believe you. And now I hang around with people that do $500,000 a month. Difference. Because I know what I know now. There's a different world out there, man. And I think before you want to say anything, Reese, I think I'm going to leave one thing before we go to questions, before you go for it. Is one thing that really fucking baffled me when I started online was the amount of people that were willing to help us. I didn't get it. So when we joined, we were going through and we joined like a mastermind or something like that, or a webinar. And there's people messaging me and Reese after going, mate, if you need any help with that, with the question that you asked, I'm more than happy to help you. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy trying to sell me? Who is this guy? What does he want? proper like guard up. I was like, you know, who is this guy? What the fuck does this guy want from us? I didn't realize that people online are actually trying to help you because they want to build a network with you. Because as time goes on and you start succeeding, you can then help them, you know, with some value that you might have, and vice versa. And we all win together. I didn't realize anything about networking. So it happened so many times in the first few months, people reaching out and saying, look, let's network, let's connect, let's work together, let's do. And I used to be like, what are these guys up to? What's the catch here? You know, like, Reece, don't answer him. What's the catch? What's that?
Trying to sell you something. Don't listen.
But now we know so much better. Like I get people wanting to connect to me all the time and saying, Ryan, look, we can make money together, man. You know your marketing. I know these guys. Let's do business. And then we go and make money together. I'm like, yeah, cool. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just a fucking different world where in a 9 to 5, people will stab you in the fucking back. When you run your own business in the traditional world, employees will fucking let you down left, right, and center. They don't give a shit about your business. They're just there to get paid. When you're in the online space, everyone's there to win together. That's the fucking difference, man. Incredible. Do you want to say anything, Reece, before we go over to questions?
No, I think like just give a bit of advice as well. Is anyone that's trying to, you know, learn or well, like the way the world's going, you got to think like, you know, prices are going up for fucking everything now. Energy is going up. Even just to stay warm, you've got to pay more. Fuel prices skyrocketed. They dropped recently, but if you check, you know, they've gone back up and they're sort of holding at a point now where nobody's speaking about it, but there's still more than what they were before. So, you know, your whole energy costs everywhere, your fuel costs are sky high, food costs in supermarkets are sky highs. But one thing that hasn't changed is people's salaries. So like now, you know, inflation is literally going crazy. So I think, you know, people need to start realizing that, you know, if you're dependent on, you know, your salary and you've only got one source of income, you're essentially one step away from poverty. And, you know, I'm not saying this in a negative way, but, you know, if I was in your position, I would be thinking to myself, like, how the fuck can I make more money? What do I need to do to make more money? Instead of, you know, checking your bank balance, or, you know, it's Easter weekend, I'm going to go out for a few drinks, you know, to maybe take the family out or the partner for a meal and stuff. But you're checking your bank balance. You're constantly checking that because, you know how much money you need to survive for that month. And that allowance that you set yourself of, you know, you can spend this to enjoy yourself throughout the month is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller as time goes on. People are probably getting in more and more debt than ever. And unfortunately, nothing's going to change. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And if you're somebody that, you know, thinks you're fine living paycheck to paycheck, trust me, within the next 5 years at least, you're going to really struggle with things moving forward. And I think the main bit of advice I can say to you is start looking at alternative income for you to set up. They don't have to be big. Maybe, you know, an extra few £100 a month can help you out. You know, a couple £1,000 a month can help you out for sure. You know, and these things are realistic. There's people all over the world that's earning money online. And we're in the, like I said, we're in the best time ever, and it's only going to get better for these opportunities. But you need to take action. The longer you leave it, the more congested this sort of stuff's going to get, the more, which basically means on the flip side is it's going to get harder for you to succeed if you decide to start this time next year or this time in 2 years. It's going to get harder and harder for you.
This is the advice we needed when years before we started, Reece.
Which we didn't fucking get. But we learned it out. We learned it the hard way, and I think it's probably better learning it that way for ourselves. But, you know, having the knowledge and the education that we have now, it's nice to be able to provide this back to people. And anybody that's been watching us for X amount of time, you would have seen, you know, since we've been jumping on e-commerce and we've been, you know, building stores, building our platform, focusing on our businesses, you'll see how much we've grown. And that entire journey is available to you to follow as well.
We're only growing though because e-commerce has grown. That's why we're growing.
And what was the other thing that I saw recently? I think, I don't know where I saw it, but there was talks with I think 2 major supermarket outlets, and they said by 2040, I think there's a law coming in for cars where the diesel and stuff like that's going to be cut. And for these supermarkets to start supporting that, they're going to start closing X amount of stores, and they're only going to offer a home delivery service via electric vehicles and stuff like that to help the environment. So you think how many jobs are going to be cut from that? Like, there's so many stuff being replaced with jobs. Fucking lawn gardeners, as an example, they're being replaced. People that clean your house, they're being replaced. They're all just robots and stuff like that. The car manufacturing industry, how many robots do all the jobs in there now? You never see someone beating a fucking panel to fit a car. It's just robots doing everything. And with these supermarkets, like, don't be surprised if you start seeing, you know, like robots picking your weekly shop and delivering it to you and stuff like that. McDonald's is how many staff have been replaced who work in fast food restaurants with now those screens that are in there.
So I went into Co-op today in Southwold, Reese, and I remember going there a few years ago, and there was tills with like people serving. And today when I went in there, so it went from about 8 to 2 tills, and it's all self-serve now. Everything's self-serving there. Yeah, that's in Southwold. Yeah. But look, this happened when we started online, though, Reese. We were having the same conversation back then. We were talking about technology. You know, this is when we literally first started. We were talking about technology, cost of living. Like, obviously, it's not like it is now, but, you know, I remember fuel going up back then. And, you know, we had the same issues then, though, to be fair, Reese, you know, when we started. And, yeah, it's just, if you want to live your best life, man, you need to take risks. You have to. Like, you have to. Anyone that's going to tell you the truth, like, you have to take risk, but then it's only a risk if you don't put the work in. Again, if you come through and then you quit, you know, in e-commerce, then yeah, like, that is a risk. You failed, you know, and you've probably spent some money and lost money now and lost time. But if you go into e-commerce and you really fucking get your head down and you say, look, this is my purpose, this is why I'm doing this is, you know, I want to make money, like, because of my family or because I want to travel. If you have a purpose behind what it is you're doing, you will succeed. Like, that should carry you through, and you'll succeed. It's the people that go into e-commerce with no purpose. Like, oh, give it a go. You know, that attitude. Don't fucking waste your money. Don't waste your time. Don't waste whoever else's time you're going to be dealing with. Like, just don't waste your time. Just don't start. Because if I give it a go will keep you fucking average all your life. If your attitude towards everything is I'll give it a go, you know, you're never going to get anywhere. So, you know, you have to go through with the attitude of let's fucking smash this. So this is my purpose, man. This is why I'm doing this. You know, this is why I'm coming home every day and spending an hour or 2 hours on my laptop because of this. You know, and what I used to have as well is in my mum's little bedroom, I bought a little cheap desk from B&M's because I had no money. So I bought a little cheap desk from B&M's. I had my laptop on there, and then I had a picture frame of my little girls next to my laptop. So when I'm in there and I'm feeling like, oh, you know, it's a lot to do, I look at that picture and I remind myself, this is why I'm fucking doing it. You know, this is why I'm doing it. And then I crack on. I'm good again. You know, and it's like even these days, like, you know, if I'm like, let's say I'm in the office, okay, like let's say I've got, I don't know, a few Zoom meetings, couple of Zooms, whatever, like with B2B deals, or you know, I'm doing some stuff on a store, like, you know, fulfilling orders, or, you know, I'm just doing DMs, whatever. I usually put on my Mac screen here that I'm on now, you know, I put something like calming, man. I put like, I know it might sound weird, but, you know, like you can go on YouTube and find those Maldives backgrounds that just play and it's like calm music and just gets me in that zone, man. You've got to find what works for you. What gets you in that zone? I know there's a lot of people that work with AirPods in and they have some calming music and that really helps them think and clears their mind. There's people that go for walks and do their work. So, you know, if there's emails that they need to send out, they can do emails from their phone. So they'll go on a walk and they'll do their emails on their phone. Like, you've got to find what works for you. And what really worked for me when I started was a picture of my little girls, you know, next to where I work to remind me on why I'm doing what the fuck I'm doing. You know, so when I see that negative shit coming to me, I look at that picture, man. I'm like, I'm not letting them down. They're relying on me. I'm their dad. You know, that I want to give them their best life. I want to be able to buy them a car when they're 17, and all this is going through my head. You know, like, I want them to go on holiday. I want them to see the world, and it's just like, that's my purpose, man. And when you have a purpose, you're fucking unstoppable. Literally. When you don't have a purpose, you're like, oh, I'm just in it to make some money. Let's give it a go. Don't fucking bother. Don't bother, because it's not going to work. You're not, because as soon as you hit an obstacle, you go like, blah, blah, blah. When you've got a purpose, man, nothing stops you. You're unstoppable. And you'll achieve more than you set out to achieve. So if you set out to achieve 100K a year, you'll achieve 500K a year. If you have a fucking purpose. Because you'll wake up every day with a purpose. Literally, man, game changer. Right, let's do some questions, yeah, Reese?
Let's go.
Jason's put, did you always know you wanted more, or did something open your eyes to more opportunities out there? What would you have settled? Open your eyes, more opportunities out there. Do you want to answer that, Reese? Did you always know you wanted more, or did something open your eyes? What opportunities out there would you have settled?
I just think having the goal of making as much fucking money as possible, and working smart with it as well. I think that was sort of the very very early mindset we had. But then
We never had money. You have to understand that. We want to say we never had.
yeah, 100%. And I think as you progress, you start seeing more and more opportunities. And like early on, we used to push aside any type of opportunity because we thought it was a scam. But now, like any new opportunity, we look into it. Like how's it going to benefit us? Is it going to benefit anyone else? And we're all for new opportunities, 100%. Whereas this time, X amount of years ago, we would have been like, nah, no way. I'm not putting money into that. I'll never see that again. So
yeah, I don't think I would have ever settled. I was always on the lookout. Hence the reason when I found out what this guy did, I asked his friend who knew him. That's not me settling. That's me saying, look, man, what's this guy doing? I'm interested. But then at the same time, I'm like, why is this guy not fucking asking him? He's your friend. Why are you not saying to your friend, mate, what is it you do? Let me get interested. Because people, settle for the average life, which is fine. If you're happy doing that, that's fine. But I never get it. I'm like, why would you want to? Why would you not want to see different parts of the world? Why would you not want to wake up on your own terms? Like, why would you not want to ever not worry about bills? Like, I never got it, and I still don't get it. But it's either in you or it's not, man. Not everyone's built to be great, Ben's, but how much of an advantage do you have? Do you think having 3 of you doing it has? You see, I wouldn't really say it's an advantage, man. I think the only thing that really helped with Reese and Tammy, mainly Reese's mindset. Tammy's mindset was great as well, but at the time, I used to keep speaking to Reese but Tammy was fucking amazing. Of course, like incredible. You know what Tammy's mindset's like. It's just insane. I don't think it's like work-wise, like I said, man, if Reese weren't with me, I would have put 2 hours in, and vice versa. If I went with Reese would have put 2 hours in that instead of an hour a day. So I don't think it probably helped a bit, but I wouldn't say it's made us what we are today. I think Reese would have succeeded by himself. I would have succeeded by myself. Tammy would have succeeded by herself. Like, we would have all succeeded. So it's very hard to say, because we don't know for sure. But I
gray area.
But I truly believe we will, because I know for a fact if Reese sees something and it works, he knows it works, he can see it works, Reese is on it. Reese is like unstoppable. And same as me, I've got the same mindset. So you show me something that works, that can change my life, I'm fucking on it, regardless. As long as I've got that picture there of my little girls and I'm on it, So, and same as Tammy. Tammy's driven as hell, man. So, yeah, I don't think that would have changed the outcome if we did it singly, but it may have helped, in certain ways. Niall, it's so humbling to hear you were both chefs before. Good on you guys. Yes, and we fucking hated it as well, Niall. Hot, sweaty, moaning customers. Customers were the fucking worst, man. Like in catering, customers. Like my food's cold and there's fucking steam coming out the food, and I'm like, oh, is she winding me up or what? So appreciate it. Let's go. Charlie, do you believe in manifestation? Do you believe in manifestation?
I never really. I don't know. It's a tough one. I think I was manifesting very early on, but I don't know if I was doing it right. I think I was just hoping in a way. I don't know if that's manifestation. Now I do it 100%. But yeah.
I used to, once again, I've told the story a million times. When I used to go to bed, used to close my eyes, and it might sound sad to people, but I was manifesting the shit out of it. I was going to sleep, and I was thinking of my vision. I was dreaming of waking up to no alarm, no chef, no getting dressed into my chef rights, no fighting through the rush hour, no 12-hour shifts, no being spoken to like shit, seeing my girls like all day if I wanted to see my little girls. And then I fall asleep and my alarm goes off and I'm back to work. Back to reality. But do you know what? Had them same thoughts every night. I used to just dream about my perfect life every night. And do you know what? All that shit has been manifested, and it's what I do today. I think manifestation, I don't believe like you sit there and you think about it and it comes to you, like the universe gives you what you. I think that's a load of shit personally. But what I do believe is, if you sit there and you manifest, what you want, like you manifest your vision, like you think about all the things that you want in your life. You think about, your dream life, your perfect life. it helps in regards to your mindset. I think that's where the trick is. I think your mindset is just like you now believe in your goals a lot more because you're constantly dreaming about them. And it's like, you know, when you hear about like liars that lie and they then believe their own lies because they lie so much. It's the same thing. It's like there's a part of your brain that when you constantly vision that perfect life, you start believing that, yeah, I'm going to accomplish. You believe in yourself now that like this is going to happen. And you now put in the work that's required to make it happen, and it happens. That's what I believe manifestation is personally. Paul, is it easy to get started if you literally have no clue, as I'm just in construction and this is literally the first thing I've come across online, but sounds too good to miss? When you say easy, it's simple. Easy, everybody would do it. It's simple. It's a process, and you need to put the work in around day-to-day commitments. But well, it depends what you want from life, buddy. You know, if you're happy doing construction, stay with construction. Like, I'm not shitting on anyone that works 9 to 5, by the way. For anyone that's new in here, I respect anyone that is doing what they love. You know, I respect that. If you don't care about trading time for money and you absolutely love your job and the boss you work for, fantastic. If that makes you happy, fantastic. What I'm getting at is for the people that are in the position that I was in, you'll feel where I'm coming from. You know, I don't want to fucking make somebody else rich. I don't want to trade 60 hours a week. I don't want to miss all this time out of my family, my little girls. Like, you know, man, it's more to life than that shit, man. One life. So yeah. Victoria, do you think mindset is a very important part of a business journey? Absolutely. Mindset is everything. You should have tuned into the webinar 2 days ago. We were talking about mindset. Absolutely, Victoria. Mindset is everything. Mike, this is great to hear your story. I had never heard of this before. I'm a fairly new Inner Circle member, and I saw all your highlights, Ryan, and thought these guys are legit. Joined up, absolutely loving the training, but so nice to hear you started when. So nice to hear how you started when all I actually saw was your end results. Amazing work, good on you. Amazing work, good on you both. Appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, that's the problem. That is one of the main problems. They come, you know, people come to my Instagram and go, "I must be a scam. He's got a Lambo." No way, he must be one of those scams. Don't realize I've been doing this for fucking 9 years. You know, come on, guys. Let's go, Mike. Good stuff. Look, good to have you in the Inner Circle, buddy. I know we messaged yesterday or the day before. I've been ill, so don't blame me. Good fucking shit, Mike. And I know your friends are already Inner Circle member as well. We're just doing quite well at the moment. So good shit, Mike. Really good to have you on board. And let's smash it, brother. And so we got Aaron. What an amazing story. You should write a book. Honestly, so inspiring. It's amazing to see you came from 2 chefs to an amazing platform, a community of like-minded people, and your whole team of experts. Congratulations, seriously, from Aaron. Aaron, appreciate it, brother. We appreciate it, man. But if we could do it, you could do it. We're just normal people that said, fuck it, we want more from life. Let's go, brother. George, online money is mad. My store is doing just shy of 5K a month. I don't even think much of it, but when I think back, that's nearly 3 months' wages for me. Absolutely mad when you can make money online. I speak to a lot of members doing way higher figures, and it's nuts, but also so achievable. They should teach this in schools. Good on you to begin with, George. Fucking smashing it, and good to see you networking with other members. And absolutely, they should teach it at school, but I'll never teach it at school because they would destroy the system if they teach this in school. The system is to create as many employees as possible, get as many people to pay taxes as possible, and stay like that until they die. That is the educational system. You know, it's look what I put in my story the other day, George, about modern slavery. You got your own fucking prime minister sitting there saying, you know, if you come into our country, you won't be able to access the modern slavery system. Like, are you fucking joking? You just said modern slavery. You just said modern slavery, and people want to call the online world a fucking scam. And you got your prime minister calling the traditional world modern slavery. What's the quote you use, Reese, to change whenever? What was it? I can't remember the quote you used, Reese, for that. They just know slavery was never abolished. They just removed the chains.
Oh yeah, literally, yeah. Stuck a computer screen and a keyboard there instead.
Guys, George, you're fucking smashing it, brother. Let's go, Reese. Let's do the giveaway. It's 9 o'clock. Let's do the giveaway.
Cool, let's do it.
So 2 winners. We're doing £1,000 and a VIP membership. So good luck to the 2 winners there. I appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. It shows not everybody's out partying and drinking and living their best life, and then come Monday evening, they're like, oh fuck, back to work, back to reality. You know, make this. It's times like this that fucking count, man. It's times like this that it's gonna separate you from the 99%. Do you know what I mean? Like, trust me, guys. Been there. Reese has been there. Tammy's been there. So put the fucking work in, man. Open up that laptop. You're gonna enjoy the process, man. Just enjoy it. You know, see it as like a treat when you get home. Like, you're fucking building your own business online. You don't want to work for somebody else, and then it's like people that work for somebody else and then get home and then don't work on their own dreams. You know, like you're not like uninspired. You're lazy, man. You know, like, it's crazy. It's fucking mad. But let's go, Reese. Have you done we're doing it. Cool, guys. Our next webinar is at 8 p.m. on Sunday. We're doing Q&As on Sunday. Just remember, Inner Circle members, for anyone asking there, I haven't gone through all the questions. I apologize. But Inner Circle price is increasing. Yes, I did say that in the last webinar as well. It could be any time now, just to point it out. And also, the Inner Circle webinar is going to be fucking incredible. That is going to be at 7 p.m. Just remember that, guys. That will be on Sunday, where it's usually 9 p.m. It's now 7 p.m. on Sundays. And then followed by a Q&A webinar. So if you're a non-member or member, our Q&A is on 8 p.m. on Sunday. But look, guys, have a fantastic weekend. You know, put the work in while people party, and let's do the complete opposite to everybody else to get the opposite results. Put the work in. Good attitude this week, guys. Good results. People fucking smashing it. Let's go, man. Let's go. Continue that energy all throughout the week, guys. And I'll see you all on Sunday.
Take it easy, guys. See you all soon.